Greetings everyone, my name is Waterfall, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. During the last part, I covered several of the submissions to Nature's Rat. So in this part, I'll be covering at least 4 or 5 more viewers made levels, starting up with this one. Waterfall Institute by OmegaLte with 77 plays and a score of 27. As always, if you want one of your levels to be featured in a future part like this one, please leave both the level name and level ID either in the comment section below or direct message me on Twitter. Also, as always, the full disclaimer of this entire LP series is linked in the description below. Also in the description are the timestamps for all the levels I cover in these parts, so if you want to check if your level is covered, expand the description. Fun trivia fact, Waterfall Institute was the official name of Bubble Man's stage from Mega Man 2. In fact, in this stage, we only have access to all the special weapons and utilities from Mega Man 2 itself. In some ways, this feels like a remake of that original level. I was hoping it was going to be an E-Tank up there, but this is still handy. Checkpoint density compared to the original is much more generous. I was a bit worried there was going to be dropping lobsters, or rather those jellyfish enemies. This was a small level, but it was a nice remake of Bubble Man's level. I'll definitely give this a thumbs up, although compared with the original, this version has a lot more spikes throughout the level. Second up is More Bark Than Spike by Shi Shamo, with 41 plays and a score of 15. At most, this stage is going to be 20 screens long. There is probably something to the right there. Indeed there is. So far so good. This stage is definitely living up to its title. Despite there being many spikes in this level so far, most of them aren't that difficult to avoid. As always, poor Tama. Is this a potion? At least the pattern looks like a potion. And that was my bad for not initiating the jet later. This was an okay level. It definitely was more bark than spike, as most spikes here were just for show. Still, I'd like to see this level design taken further, perhaps with some more challenge at the end. Third up is Magnetization by CODIJOYN, with 6 plays and a score of 0. Another shorter level. I'm conditioned to check the sides of these levels for any secrets. So far, straightforward. Now it's getting a bit more tricky. Just a little though. Despite this stage's relative simplicity, I'm enjoying this. In a way, it feels like it's a nice introduction to future MagFly challenges. This boss battle would be more enjoyable if it was actually another master other than Toadman. Fourth up is High Voltage Factory by Megablur, with 11 plays and a score of 2, and this is even shorter. I'm getting more shorter levels than usual in this episode. How exceedingly generous. While this stage just existed, it had almost no challenge whatsoever, and it feels like all the challenges showcased in the stage weren't that cohesive. That's all I have to say about this stage. It just exists. Fifth up is One Punch Man by Tobvet, with 15 plays and a score of 3. Short level number 3. Oh, that's how it's supposed to work. Silly me. I like the base gimmick behind this level, but we'll have to see how far it takes it. And that was my fault, I should have charged it earlier. But see, I like these sorts of challenges. They aren't just total pushovers. This actually took 3 times off screen to pull off, mainly due to the precision of the timing involved. And I know I screwed this one up. Let's try again. Magnet Man, but I see the trick. Let's try this again. I didn't pull it off correctly. See, I need to destroy those blocks on the right. See, that wasn't too hard, as long as you pay attention to what's going on. 6th up is OmegaLte vs Spring Joe by Okada Man, with 16 plays and a score of 2. The previous stage was fun to go through, though there was a bit of a difficulty spike near the end, what with the precision of the timings involved, which wasn't necessary beforehand. I say to tone that section down, or at least put some spikes below, or gyro blocks, just to make it a bit easier. Or perhaps make the difficulty curve more gradual. Make sure to hold left over here, otherwise you'll fall back down to this screen. I will say I like how the pop-up attackers are indicated on the bottom. They are telegraphed is what I'm saying. Compared with Okada Man's previous stage, this feels a lot more balanced. Well, the previous stage was also more balanced, but that started out much harder. This one starts out a lot easier. It feels more like a traditional level / fortress stage, and less of a challenge level. It's just like the previous challenge, but now horizontal. I knew there'd be at least one more to the left. There's probably one more after that. That was very straightforward. Time for an air movement poker segment. I wasn't able to destroy that wall blaster. Thanks for the advance warning with that line, by the way. Stage gradually getting a bit harder. It feels more like a fortress level as the Puker was first introduced near a bottomless pit. Nevertheless, this marks the end of the level. Nah, I don't want to go through this segment as Proto Man. I'd rather go as Mega Man. Just like in Mega Man 1, the boss corridor is filled with enemies and hazards. In a way, this felt like a better version of a Mega Man 1 level. A lot more balanced, a much better difficulty curve in terms of enemies, gimmicks, and mechanics. That was a poor attempt on my part. And sadly, the Dokkrons are not spawning in life energy. And now it decides to do it. At least it's a large one. Only 2 more hits should do the trick. Now I see why Proto Man was one of the options. He can deflect the projectiles back at the enemies. Overall, this was a fun level. In fact, out of all the levels I played in this episode so far, I say that this was the best constructed. 7th up is Reclaim the Weaponry from Heartstone Prison by Pikgamer, with 17 plays and a score tree. One down, several left to go. What's behind here first? Another option, but I want to get the plant barrier first. And I can't get it because I need a key. I keep forgetting of the low ceiling there. I'll need to backtrack again once I get the hyper bomb, which is now. For a more non-linear kind of level, this is rather straightforward. Well, it isn't really that non-linear, it just requires some backtracking. With that settled, I believe I'm closing in on the last part of the stage. Indeed I am. Our boss is probably weak to the magnet missile. So the 8th and final level of this episode is Small Waterbase by NightCurseX, with 7 plays and a score of 2. Not that long either, around 20 screens long. I didn't expect to cram in 8 levels in this episode. One of my worst enemies, the croakers. There were 2 near misses there. See, this is actually a lot easier than the previous segment as we have a safety ground, or rather safety spikes. As long as the damage boost, falling onto the spikes is no biggie, which is especially crucial with all the small croakers going everywhere. Not everywhere, but at least 3 at a time. Could be worse. I could only have access to the Surf Snake and have to deal with them that way, as what happened in the previous episode during the last level I covered. Our boss is Bubble Man. All these spikes makes this boss arena easier for me. At least that's how it feels. This stage was, I guess, okay at best. It fell below par to me. In some ways I feel this would have been better if it was a mini level, or perhaps a pit stage. But I like the idea behind it, it just needs to be expanded and its ideas taken further. It wasn't too frustrating. So overall, out of the 8 levels I played in this episode, my favorite one would be Elec vs Spring Joe by Okada Man. So in the next episode, I'll complete all the remaining levels that were submitted to the Nature's Wrath level design challenge. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!